How's it going? This is Tuesday Brew with me, Mr. Tyler Solze, and Loki Amos. How's it going, Mark?
Not bad, mate. Not bad, you?
I'm fine. Well, I'm not fine because I just watched Hereditary, which fucked me up a bit. Yeah, Hereditary is our movie review this week. Mark, what are we going to be talking about after that?
We've got a few trailers to go through. Serenity, How to Train Your Dragon 3, Halloween. Also, we've got the latest news.
Okay, mate. Well, if you're ready, let's go. Okay, mate, so we're starting with Hereditary, a freaky film which we have just seen, maybe 20 minutes ago. I'll go with you, Mark. Do you want to tell us what the film's about?
Yeah, mate. Oh, apart from being terrifying, it's after the family's grandmother dies, a grieving family is haunted by tragic and disturbing occurrences and begin to unravel dark secrets.
Spooky.
Oh, mate, very, very.
Well, you're not just saying that, are you? I mean, I was scared.
Oh, mate, I was tense throughout the whole thing. It was kind of, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
So many times.
You said that. You said when it finished, you went, oh, I can breathe now.
Yeah, it's just. Don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of people in the cinema are probably like, oh, it's so long-winded. And
do you know, it was a slow burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was worth it, but it was a slow burn.
But I think that what makes it worse, because it's slow and everything's not rushed, the scares are not...
Worse as in...
Jump scares.
Better.
Yeah. In the sense that you're watching it, and you're just waiting for something, and you don't know what's going to happen, and when it happens, you're just like, fuck, man, fuck.
Well, I was freaked out, from the get-go, just because of the music... and how it was shot. So I was tense and I looked at my watch, we were an hour in.
Yeah. And
by an hour in, I'm thinking, I didn't want to be scared coming in, but now I'd quite like to be scared because I'm fucking bored.
Yeah.
But, no, you're right. It's so slow, but it's so tense.
Yeah.
Okay, right, we've talked about what it's about. It's got Toni Collette.
Oh, I think she was brilliant, mate.
Yeah.
Just absolutely fantastic. Alex Wolff
is the son, Peter. And we've got Millie Shapiro, which I think is a debut performance.
Yeah, she was on Broadway for Matilda, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, she's, she did the trope, the creepy little girl in a horror film trope. But again, it was a bit different. This wasn't like a slasher or a mainstream horror, and it wasn't 100% art house horror. It was somewhere in the middle, and I think they found a nice balance.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to do a spoiler-free review, and then we'll tell you when we're going to talk spoilers. Again, this spoiler-free review is going to be short, right? Because how do you talk about this film without giving it away?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the hard bit. But we go back when we get into spoilers, we can just
let rip.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, spoiler-free. Let's do actors and actresses first. Toni Collette should get a fucking Oscar for this.
Well, basically, we know from the trailer that her grandmother died.
Yeah.
Her mother, sorry, the kid's grandmother.
Sorry, her mother.
She's trying to deal with grief for a woman that comes across that wasn't...
she was estranged from her mother for reasons, yeah.
She was estranged from her grandson, wasn't she? She didn't let her mother near her son.
Yeah, we get a little bit throughout the film, a bit of history with the relationships. But yeah, the mother who died at the beginning... Toni Collette's mother, she was a weird mum. A bad mum. Didn't have any relationship with her daughter at all. So we start off at the funeral, where Toni Collette's doing the obituary, and one of the first things she says is she's surprised by the turnout because her mother wasn't a very liked woman for all she knew. Yeah.
I feel like that was a good intro for Charlie.
Yeah,
the young girl.
Yeah, we assume this kid's sort of special needs, would you say?
Definitely. Well, something strange about her, definitely.
Yeah.
You kind of...
Well, we know what it is, but...
Yeah.
She's at the funeral, the daughter, Toni Collette's daughter.
Book. She likes drawing, doesn't she?
Yeah, some freaky shit.
Yeah. So when she does the first drawing, you're like...
And then, you've seen it in the trailer, there's the I'm too scared to even do the noise. It freaks me out. The clucking. Like you do a horsey... clip-clop sound.
Yeah.
But it's horrible, isn't it?
And that's just... is it a spoiler to say it's throughout? that clicking. And
Yeah.
It's just terrible. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Cut that bit out. Right?
No, it's fine. It's all right.
Also, you're introduced to Peter, the older son. I think he tries to be involved with his family, but obviously he wants his own life. He's at that age where he wants to go out with his friends, partying and drinking. And
They're not a close family, are they?
No, they're quite an odd family. You can tell from the get-go there's something not right about this relationship between them all.
Yeah.
The only one that comes across like normal is the dad, played by Gabriel Byrnes.
He's with us. He's like the audience.
Yeah.
You know?
So he's watching as it all unravels.
He's almost he's almost like the normal one.
Yeah.
And it's like a descent. I know most horror films there's a slow sort of gradual build up. This was the same, but just over a longer period of time. And when it does happen, the third act, well, not even the third act, the final 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It just goes fucking nuts, doesn't it? So
it's hard to wrap your head around.
What's going on?
Yeah, at the end, because it's so much shit. And
we'll talk about the end.
In the spoilers, we'll talk about that. But
I think if you're looking for jump scares, you'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
But it's worse than jump scares, isn't it?
Yeah. The amount of times I had chills going through my whole body, and it was a horrible feeling because it felt like it was cold.
Well, every time, I mean, we've seen a lot of horrors between us, so we know when a jump scare's coming normally. And there were so many points in this film where you're thinking, oh, the light will go back off and there she'll be. Or 3, 2, 1 and there. But it didn't happen. And it was freakier, the fact that it didn't happen. So it built up the tension even more.
Yeah.
And so instead of jump scares, you had this crazy music. Do you know, at one point I thought it was the sound of like the cinema's heating or air conditioning. It was like really quiet. And it's not for a while I realised it's part of the score.
Yeah.
And
it's like
freaky.
strings, isn't it? Like,
strings as well, yeah. But under that there's like this little sort of pulse.
The underline.
And I thought it must be, I don't know, a fan or something somewhere. But it's put in certain scenes on purpose. There are a lot of wide shots. The style of the film is based on like a doll's house.
Yeah.
The mother character, Toni Collette, she's a miniaturist, is that the word? She makes little miniatures for...
Just creepy. They're creepy.
It's creepy. The first shot is just zooming in on this doll's house. So even the scenes out of the doll's house, they're kind of shot like these people are... Yeah. And
I noticed that, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I noticed that in a lot of the wide shots was high ceilings, open. Everything's open, so it looked like a box. You know? I think that makes it more disturbing in a lot of ways. I'm
sort of searching the screen. There was stuff going on in those shadows. Did you see any of that?
Yeah, a couple.
So instead of these big jump scares and your horror movie tropes, there's a few of them. We'll go into them, but you're sort of scanning the screen for weird shit in the shadows, and I was doing that on the way out. You know, this film stayed with me. It got to me a bit. So it's a very quiet, long-winded film. And I would say the last 20 minutes is proper old school horror. I mean, there's some horrible looking stuff, you know.
Talking a bit about what you were talking about, like the doll's house and the transitions. We talked about transitions last week in Kubrick, but like the way it slowly pans in on this dollhouse, and then when it gets closer and closer into the room, and then the door opens and Gabriel Byrnes' character comes in. It's like, where did they cut that? How did they blend that in? It was really nice, you know. Yeah,
I mean, I think that's the only bit of obvious. Well, not obvious. It must have been CGI, but it was really well done.
Yeah. And they do that a few times. Like you run past, and it'd be like where a wall's supposed to be, and it just been open.
I'm guessing they must have shot this on a stage. This house must have been built with big walls taken away to shoot it. But those wide pans, slowly zooming, it reminded me a bit of It Follows. Yeah. They did a lot of wide shots, really long takes on wide shots, just to freak you out. Another film I thought of was The Babadook. Both It Follows and The Babadook were brilliant films, almost like my best films of the year they came out. The horror genre at the moment is, I think, the best one. I always leave the cinema proper satisfied with these films. Yeah, so like The Babadook, it's almost like a family drama. and then a horror for 20 minutes at the end. I mean, the relationships between the characters are really well done and thought out, and you believe it. I think we're so used to horror films that, like your slashers, you're not really invested in these characters, and the kill count is through the roof generally. But with this, you sort of live with these people for nearly 2 hours. Well, actually, how was it? It was over 2 hours. This film,
2 hours 7 minutes.
Yeah, so that's a long film. Apparently, I heard an hour was cut.
An hour?
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
From Ariasta. It must have been 3 hours long, and they cut an hour down. So maybe
I think a lot of people would have left if it was 3 hours.
Yeah.
I don't think you could hear people going.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. I think a lot of it's for people who probably went there to see this film expecting it to be like rah all the time, and jumps. And,
it was sold as this generation's Exorcist, and I hate it when they do that, because it never is.
No.
I mean, this is probably the closest it's come. This was really, it was sensory overload, wasn't it?
I was going to watch The Exorcist a couple of nights ago, but I thought to myself, I don't think I could cope with watching that film as well as this film in the space of 2 days.
No,
so instead I thought, what I'll do, I'll just rewatch some old scenes of it.
Yeah.
It's still quite terrifying, The Exorcist.
Oh, God, yeah.
Especially for how old it is. I think it's time we should go into spoilers.
Okay, let's go spoilers. I'll put the time codes in the episode info. Check them out.
Talk about a little girl, right, in it now.
We're in spoilers now, right?
Yeah.
Go.
I think the trailer makes you believe that the whole film is going to be based on her. And what I like the fact is that it's not. It's not.
She gets taken out, half an hour in?
Don't get me wrong, she's the main underlining part of the story. Yeah. But because as you say, she gets taken out quite quickly.
Yeah, she dies, half an hour, maybe?
And what a gruesome death, man.
It's horrible. It's so horrible. Do you know, I think films should come with a warning if kids die.
Yeah.
Definitely if babies die, because I wouldn't watch it.
I think being a father...
Yeah, it changes her
more.
Yeah, big time. The way she dies is terrible. Brother goes to a party. The mother, Toni Collette, forces him to take his little kid sister with the special needs along. She just had a bit of chocolate cake. It's established that she's allergic to nuts early on. I knew that would come back.
Yeah.
She starts choking a bit, so he rushes her into the car, drives off. She can't breathe. She opens the window, sticks her head out. He swerves at the exact same moment. Do you know, I was going to ask you that. What's in the road? Is it a dead animal or something?
Yeah, it's a dead animal.
Something laying in the road.
Yeah, it's quite big, so a deer or something like that.
And there's a lamppost, and she's got her head hanging out the window, and bang.
Because she's trying to grasp for air, isn't she? It's just like... You think,
I mean, that's terrible.
Oh,
but
man.
What happens after is worse. He stays there, doesn't he? Staring into space.
It's like, because he can't look in the mirror. You see him trying to look up, but then he looks back outside.
He knows what's happened, and then he slowly just crawls off, calmly drives home, gets into bed. And then the worst thing, he hasn't said anything to anyone. The mother comes down to use the car a bit later on, and you just see this Peter, the brother. He's in bed, he's just staring, and you just hear the mother's screams, and it's fucking horrible.
I thought that when Peter walks back into the house after the incident, and she's Toni Collette's going, "Oh, they're home." I thought that's when she's going to come downstairs and be like, "Where's Charlie?" But it didn't. So it made it even more disturbing that he walked up the stairs.
So you had to imagine this woman and what she's looking at,
and
what she's found.
Yeah, she describes it later. A headless corpse with dried, dark blood like tar.
Yeah.
Her daughter's head's not there. It's kind of like... And you see the head on the side of the road.
You see the head... I think maybe that's a vision. But yeah, you see this head with ants over it.
Oh, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
And what was more disturbing, hearing the reaction while watching Peter's face of what just happened.
Well, there was
or the incident itself.
And also there was, the audience, you could hear them a bit as well.
Yeah.
I think as we're in spoilers, we can say this is a supernatural horror.
Yeah.
You don't really get that from the trailer. You get sort of hints in the first hour or two of this film, but it's better that you don't know that going in. So unlucky if you just listen to spoilers.
Yeah.
it's a supernatural horror to do with a witch's coven and a demon.
Worshipping.
Yeah, a king of hell.
One of the 8 kings of hell.
Yeah, and it's to do with possession and, this big cult, which is the climax of the film.
I've got a few things that I was thinking about. It's like when she goes to the...
the
grievance
bereavement counselling.
Yeah,
this is Toni Collette, the mother. Is this after her mum?
Yeah, it's after her mum died. That's when she first goes.
Before the daughter dies.
Yeah. She kind of just releases her feelings and
to this little circle group of
people,
strangers.
and they're all sitting there listening, and you hear of how fucked up her family were. You know, from her brother to her father dying of starvation when she was little.
So the mum at the beginning, the mother, the matriarch, she dies of... Well, she's got dementia and dissociative disorder. Yeah. And then we find out her brother hung himself.
In her mum's room.
Yeah, when he was younger. And also her dad had dementia and starved himself to death. So this poor woman.
Yeah, so you know already she's had a bit of a hard life.
Yeah.
And throughout you hear a bit more, you know, when she's talking about how you kind of, you learn that she didn't have this connection with her mum, and she tried, you know, she kept her son away from her, and then when she had a daughter, kind of with her husband's backing, kind of let her in, and the mum wanted to feed her milk.
This mother, takes over.
You didn't, when she talked about, oh, your nan wanted to feed you.
Yeah, wouldn't let me feed you.
And you're going to, okay, I see what, feeding with a bottle. But when you see the miniature...
She makes a lot of miniatures of stuff that's happened in her life.
And you see the mum with her breast out, it's kind of like...
Yeah, and then the grandmother over the bed with her tit out as well.
It's like, this is that's just weird. And you can see why...
Yeah, well, now we know this history and we've seen the end of the film... which we can talk about now.
Yeah.
You can understand that this Hereditary thing, the title of the film, is about this demon.
Yeah.
So the members of this family, the male members, are basically set up and bred to be the host for this demon who is called Paimon, is it? Paimon, King of Mischief, something like that. Toni Collette, who didn't want to have kids, was forced to have kids by her mum. And we find out why. It's because her mum, who's a member of this witch's coven or this cult, needs offspring to host this demon. So this, the reason that kid's weird, I mean, we said special needs. It turns out she's actually sort of half possessed by this demon, right?
Yeah.
And he's sort of in and out. He's uncomfortable in a female form. I think that's why.
Yeah, okay.
So then, basically, he needs to possess Peter. So once we lose Charlie... to a decapitation. There's a lot of decapitation in this film.
Yeah.
There's a scene...
That scene with
a pigeon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're going to say. There's an earlier scene with a pigeon. Charlie, the little clucking kid, chops this pigeon's head off. And then obviously she loses her head in the car accident. And then, what are you going to say?
The mother cutting her own head off.
Okay.
The way she's just floating, descending above in the attic. And she's got... I don't know what she's got, like some wire.
Oh, there are some visceral sounds in this.
And that sound continues to the point where Peter turns, sees all these naked people in his attic and jumps out the window, which I believe when he hit the ground, he dies.
Yeah, I thought that.
And then
resurrected.
Yeah, the light that followed, that Charlie saw first, then Peter saw, enters his body, and that's when he awakens and
becomes Paimon.
And goes up into the treehouse. Yeah,
the scene ends in this. The film ends in this treehouse where you've got people bowing down, worshipping Peter, who they call Charlie. So I'm guessing Charlie was the original host, so that's what they call him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And as I say, everyone's bowed down, even the headless mother. We talk about Toni Collette getting an Oscar. She won't, because it's a genre film, which is sad.
Yeah.
But supporting actor should be Peter, the guy who plays Peter, who is it Alex Wolff? Yeah, Alex Wolff.
He was in
Brilliant.
Jumanji, wasn't he? The Welcome to the Jungle one.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely remember him in this.
Because obviously he was the character that the Rock turns into.
Oh yeah.
It's he's really good. The only thing I kind of thought to myself was when he's crying and he's like really loud, and I was just like, oh,
What
mate.
is that? The scene in the classroom?
No. That scene was really good when he banged his face against the table.
Yeah, the light. That light that we assume is this demon possessing people.
Yeah.
You see that, and then he's possessed, and he breaks his face.
But his hand goes up first, doesn't it?
That's right.
And it'll bent.
Oh,
and it's like
it's freaky.
He looks over and he's just had a bit of a stroke or something like that. And you're like, and they're like, "Are you all right, Pete? Peter, you all right?"
Yeah.
And that's when he slams down. You're like, "Fuck."
Yeah. See, what I loved about that is most horror films, the scariest stuff is in the dark, right?
Yeah.
But that's a full classroom full of people and a teacher.
Yeah.
And it was freaky, wasn't it? Okay, I also want to talk about Ann Dowd, who played a character called Joan. Ann Dowd, I know from The Leftovers. But most characters she plays are untrustworthy. So straight away going into this film, I didn't trust who she was. And the first time we see Joan, she's at the bereavement counselling group, and she says, "Oh, I also lost my husband and son," and basically gets...
Wasn't it a son and grandson?
Okay, sorry.
Drowned.
Son and grandson drowned, which is bullshit, right? That didn't happen, did it?
Nah, I think she's just trying to butter her up.
She tries to get Toni Collette to perform a seance and just read out this incantation. That was the whole purpose for Joan coming along.
I knew something wasn't right, but when she turned up and she's like, "Oh, you're a doormat," you know, it says
Joan's doormat was
and
similar to her mother's doormat. Is that right?
Yeah, Mum seemed to like she made them.
Oh yeah, Mum made doormats.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, that's silly old thing," and it kind of straight away I was like,
"Yeah, they know each other." Joan knows the grandmother.
Connected here. So I thought I'd just let it go and see how it goes on, and that's when it's all started.
There were little things all the way through. I mean, I don't watch films twice, like in quick succession, but this probably deserves a bit of a rewatch in the daylight. There was when Joan was asking Toni Collette to, I should either use character names or actor names.
Yeah.
I'd mix them up.
I think we're both about it.
What's Toni Collette's character's name? Annie?
Annie, yeah.
Yeah, so when Joan convinces Annie to perform this seance, she says, "Oh yeah, make sure you do it with your whole family in the house. Your son and your whole family." The fact that she said your son, I thought, that's odd.
When she said your whole family, your son, you're like, "Oh, Pete, must be something involved." I didn't even think of the mother as the dead mum, because obviously they brought her back in there and put her in the attic.
They must have, yeah.
Which, you know...
Oh, there's a great scene where, I mean, the mother becomes possessed. Just before that, her husband bursts into flames.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the demons doing. And then she screams in terror.
Yeah.
And just before we cut away, her face goes blank.
Yeah.
It's a real horrible change in her face. So then she becomes possessed. I think that's what that meant.
Yeah.
And everything goes quiet. Pete wakes up in his bedroom and he shouts for his mum. And I think I saw her before everyone else in the cinema.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting for other people to notice. And very early on in the film, it's shown that they have a motion-sensitive light for the front of their house. And they just use it. And it just lights her up for maybe like, I don't know, just a little bit of light across her. And people started to see her. And thinking back, I'm guessing the coven, the cult is already there. And they probably set off this light. But the director did such a good job of just lighting certain parts of the screen, just for anyone who hadn't quite noticed her there.
You sit there, you know something's going to happen. You know that moment in the film when you're watching the film, you know the jump scare's coming.
Yeah.
Right? But you're sitting there, you're watching it, you see his face, and then it's like she's so fast, flew past the screen, and you just see her cardigan just float off.
Yeah.
That's when he legs it, doesn't he? And he goes to the attic and goes up in the attic, and that's when
the body's gone.
She grabs the fucking thing. She's headbutting it really fast.
Oh, God. Do you know what? That's in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
You know when you said a lot of stuff's actually in the trailer, the scary stuff? It's a quick scene in the trailer. You don't really realise what you're looking at. But she's on the ceiling, headbutting the trapdoor to the ceiling to get her son, basically. And it's horrible, isn't it?
And it's only for like a couple of seconds.
Yeah. And then Pete's up in the loft and he looks up I mean, this is a long scene. It just builds and builds this tension. He looks up and sees his mum cutting her head off.
The bit when Annie first gets a candle and the notes that she has to read out, and she does it in the house on her own. And you can hear her speaking the words while...
These are the words that Anne Dowd's character, Joan, has manipulated her to say, which I'm assuming awakes this demon.
Yeah. So Steve's in bed and you can hear the words from Annie downstairs.
Yeah.
And then she comes up and she wakes up Steve and Peter and she takes them downstairs and says, right, you've got to trust me. I've done this. She spoke to me earlier, and gets up and put her hands on a glass. And that's that moment when Charlie possesses her. And they're like, all screaming. And she's like, stop screaming, it's scary.
She becomes the daughter, doesn't she?
And that is so terrifying for that.
Yeah. Her voice changes to her daughter's voice.
And the way she's panicking, they're all screaming and fucking... Dad's like, stop this, and throws water over. I was genuinely fucking scared. I was like, what? And I'm getting these chills again. I'm just like, I'm getting the chills talking about it because it's just so creepy.
It's hard for us to put across how anxious this film made us, I think, just by talking about it. You got to go see it.
Just that scene when Annie cutting her own head off in the attic. I could feel myself pushing into the chair. I was pushing further into the chair because I was thinking, just change the scene because this is just disturbing as fuck. And this film just generally terrified me in many places.
We can talk more about the ending. I thought they were going to stop the film when he fell out of the window. I thought he was going to cut to black and leave us all just up in the air and fucked. What happens? Some directors do that. They'll cut a film off there and you'll be like, bastard.
Yeah.
But it carries on. There's floating decapitated bodies and a cult, and there's an image you will never forget, where we see they go into the treehouse and there's all the worshippers and they're worshipping Charlie's head is back with a crown on.
And did you notice the statue's arm was like how his arm was in the classroom?
That's right. Her head and this crown are on top of a sculpture of Paimon, the demon.
Yeah.
But you're right, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, the hand was all deformed.
Like Pete's position in the classroom.
Yeah. And then she takes the crown off that worshipper and puts it on his head.
And he's crowned Charlie, and he's back. This demon is back in the world. And that's where we leave it.
And it ends with joyous music.
Oh, yeah. It was really weird because it was dark and strings and horrible sound effects. And then the last terrifying, horrible scene is brightly lit and there's is it a choir music? Really positive, uplifting music, which is even freakier than before.
It makes it worse when the music's like that.
And then that's the end of the film.
Yeah.
Okay, we've talked spoilers. I'm going to give this 2 thumbs up. What do you reckon?
I'm going to give it a strong 1 thumb up.
Okay.
The reason being is I don't think I can give a film that terrified me 2 thumbs up. And it deserves 2 thumbs up.
Okay.
All right. But I feel because I'm going to have to go home and watch some Teletubby shit.
Yeah.
Just to try to take this disturbing images out of my head.
I'm going to have to watch a comedy or something.
Yeah.
The reason I give it 2 thumbs up is because I mentioned them before, It Follows and The Babadook, which I would give 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Or at least 1. And it did better than both of them.
Yeah.
It balanced the horror tropes and the indie horror wide pans and zooms and silence really well.
Yeah, definitely. And for a first-time director, film director.
What's he done before? Shorts.
It's his first feature film.
Wow.
He's done a few shorts before this since 2011. So
this does not feel like a first feature, yeah.
And I'll be excited to see what he comes up with next. Because he wrote this as well, so it's one to watch, definitely.
Great. Do you want to sum the film up with any thoughts, Mark?
Anyone who's into
shitting themselves in a theatre
and spending the entire time anxious and afraid, go see this film. I don't think you'd be disappointed. But also for tension and disturbing scenes. I think people who are into that stuff will
freaks
thoroughly enjoy it. But plus, also, I think anyone should watch it and give it a try, because if you don't try films like this, you never know.
Yeah, get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, try something new.
Okay, that's great. Okay, Mark, time for trailers today. First one we've got, I don't know if you saw this week, Serenity with Anne Hathaway and Matthew McConaughey. Bit of a confusing trailer, doesn't give too much away.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
One, I've always been a fan of McConaughey since I was younger. I remember writing a script and I was like, he would be the lead role. This was at a time when he wasn't a big star. He just.
This is before the McConaissance.
Yeah, I think it was when he done A Time to Kill. Is that?
Oh yeah, good film.
Yeah, great film. And after watching that, I always this bloke, I really like this bloke, and I've enjoyed a lot of his films. This one, on the trailer, it's kind of hard to grasp what's going on. It kind of looks like Anne Hathaway is wanting her husband, Jason Clarke, to be killed.
Yeah. It looks amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's set in like this tropical paradise. What I got from it, he's waiting for a big day. He looks like a shark fisherman. Is that what's going on? He's waiting for this big catch.
I do like the tick.
Yeah, it sounds like a hammer hitting a nail in a bit of wood, maybe.
It's like it was the.
Oh, is it the fishing line? Oh, okay.
I think that's where it's clicking. Like they caught something.
Yeah.
And it's click.
So this is all guesswork, but I'm thinking maybe this big fish comes along once a year and he's counting down the days. While he's waiting, this ex-flame, played by Anne Hathaway, turns up. Sort of like a femme fatale role. So she's obviously going to double-cross him.
Yeah.
But yeah, she wants. She's trying to seduce him again, and she's got this abusive, controlling husband, played by Jason Clarke. Big names, man. We've got 2 Oscar winners leading it. She wants Matthew McConaughey to kill her husband, I'm guessing. Get rid of the body.
Yeah, it's was it October is out?
Yeah. We've got Diane Lane as well.
Oh yeah, Superman's mum.
Superman's mum, yeah. Martha.
We'll talk about Superman later, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It all links up.
It's
do you think it's a bit of a mystery?
Yeah, I like a trailer like this that doesn't give away everything.
I think it gives away the feel of the film.
Yeah, but you don't know which way it's going to go. No. A bit like you talking about her double crossing him.
Just guess. She looks.
Or is that just something to throw you off course?
Maybe. They do that now in trailers.
Yeah.
Try to throw you a different way.
It's going to be nothing like this. It's just going to be her fishing with him by the end of it.
It's a fishing documentary with Matthew McConaughey playing himself. There you go.
We got to catch a tuna.
She looks good blonde, right?
Yeah.
Unrecognisable.
I like Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
Oscar Colossus, winner. Which I really enjoyed. Her last film. That was good.
Smaller film. Didn't win an Oscar for that.
Yeah.
She's got I don't know if it's a real beauty spot, but she's got one on her face, which makes her look even more Marilyn Monroe style.
No, I think it'd be something I'm looking forward to watch. Yeah. Right, Adam, did you watch the first trailer of London Fields?
Yeah, I did. Sexy, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get much else from it. Maybe it's like a London thriller. Everyone seems to be doing their right accents, which I like. You got Cara Delevingne sounding like Cara Delevingne sounds.
Yeah.
Amber Heard. That's one sexy looking woman.
She's using her beauty, isn't she, to manipulate and use men how she wants, And she knows she's sexy, so she plays off that. It's got Billy Bob Thornton in it. I'm a big fan of his. Yeah,
you've just started watching Fargo, right?
Yeah, he's great in that.
I love him
in
that.
He's really good.
I'll tell you who did pop up, looking a bit different. Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Didn't he beat Amber Heard up? I should cut that out probably. Did that happen?
I don't know, maybe.
Well, they've obviously made up because they're doing this film together.
But how long ago was that, though? Because a film can take a year to produce, can't it?
Yeah.
The thing is, nowadays, watching a film with like Johnny Depp, I will automatically go, Johnny Depp.
But do you know why? It's because he does a character. He does like a caricature.
He doesn't need to be. He's a good actor. He doesn't need to be a pirate. He doesn't need to be a Mad Hatter. He just needs to do...
Well, he needs to be in them films.
Yeah,
but you're right.
Yeah. That's all he seems to do at the moment.
What's the last good film? I'm thinking, I don't know, Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yeah, where he comes as the blind assassin.
But he was good.
Yeah.
Good role in that. There's probably others, but generally he does this sort of caricature. What's the one he just did with, a couple of years ago, Gwyneth Paltrow, and he played sort of an over-the-top character with a moustache. That just proves how forgettable his caricatures are.
The last time I really liked Johnny Depp was in 22nd Jump Street.
Oh yeah.
He was in that
cameo.
That cameo was good.
Yeah. Do you mean the film, not the TV show?
Yeah, the film.
Because that's a long time ago. He did anything good for you. So she's a sexy, manipulative lady.
Yeah.
You didn't get a lot of story from the trailer.
I feel like she plays the men off each other. Okay. That's why. So, everyone wants Nicola, and they, dead.
Amber Heard. Nicholas Six is her name in this.
Why do you think they want her dead?
I don't know. I'm guessing she manipulates him. Yeah, there is a scene, isn't there, with Jim Sturgis doing a Cockney accent. Yeah. And he says, I want to kill you, basically. And she's not bothered.
Yeah, she's like, 8 o'clock.
But again, not a lot to say about this trailer because it doesn't give much away story-wise.
No, I do like the look of it. I like the style of the trailers.
Well, London looks great.
Yeah.
Okay, another trailer I want to talk about this week is The Girl in the Spider's Web. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah. It looks really good.
It's a good trailer, isn't it? Because you get a good 2-3 minute scene, almost cut straight out of the film, where she's tying this guy up who's an abuser of women. I don't know. Did you see the original Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
I've got the Swedish ones.
Well, are they Swedish?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only ever seen the Daniel Craig remake.
Yeah, I've got the first 3. I've never watched them.
What, the subtitled?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I've got those. I never got around to watching them. I bought them after I bought the Daniel Craig one.
So you've watched the Daniel Craig one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a brilliant sort of crime thriller, isn't it?
This is obviously a sequel, isn't it?
I don't know if they come before. Is this one after?
It looks like it's after because it looks like she's come kind of like a revenge kind of film now. You know?
This is the character Lisbeth Salander, who was played by Rooney Mara. I was going to say Noomi Rapace. I get those two confused. So she's this sort of vigilante.
Yeah.
And she is known around the country for you, Elizabeth, the girl who hurts men who hurt women.
Yeah.
And the action looks good, right?
Yeah. That's that scene where she jumps into the bath.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the trailer, watch it. Yeah, she's this...
The set pieces look great.
Yeah.
It's got some good action in there, and you hope that's not all the action in the trailer, which I don't think it would be. I think there's going to be a lot more to the story, and I think there's going to be some really good torture scenes
for
men.
You're sick, mate. You're sick. Yeah, there's the last scene of the trailer is a rubber gimp suit or just a rubber bag.
Yes, it looks like one of those you put your bed sheets in and suck all the air out.
I don't know who's in it. Maybe it's the main character, and then the air just gets sucked out and you see him gasping for breath. Yeah, so great for people like you twisted fuck.
I think what it is, I like how they create them scenarios.
Right,
it's
how they set them up.
Yeah, it's not just like shoot you in the back, shoot your bollocks off.
So you like torture scenes because you want to see how they get out of it.
Yeah, the creative side of it.
Yeah.
I think that's what I like.
I think you're a secret serial killer, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, but does this make you want to see the film?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What's next? I'll tell you what I did see this week, Mark. How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Third one.
I'm not taking a piss. I really like those first 2 films.
I've not seen the second one.
Why not?
I don't know. I've seen the first.
Well, you didn't like the first one enough to go and see the second one?
Nah, I saw the first.
Yeah.
I've seen parts of the TV series.
Oh, so I haven't seen the TV series.
So I've seen bits and bobs.
They're good films, right?
Yeah, honestly, before I saw the trailer, I was a bit like, a third, do I really need to?
Oh, mate, no.
Just watching the trailer, I've changed my mind.
You want to
looks
see it?
good. I want to watch number 2 now. And this looks like it's the conclusions, the third and final.
I think, yeah, they won't do more than 3.
Nah.
What I like about these films is the character design is great. It's based on books, children's books. I'm a big fan of Meatballs. I always mention that. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. So you've got children's film or family films with proper stakes.
Yeah.
Second one, I can't say it now because you haven't seen it. His dad dies. There you go.
Okay.
Sorry,
yeah, spoiler.
Anyone who hasn't seen the films, you've got a character voice artist is Jay Baruchel, been in stuff with Seth Rogen and that. You'll recognise the voice.
He's playing Hiccup.
Yeah, he's one of these kids who live on an island. Well, these American kids who live with a bunch of Scottish people. I don't know how that worked out. But what are you going to say?
I was just saying, he's got a beard in this one.
Yeah, I think when at the beginning of the trailer, he's narrating as an older version of himself.
Yeah.
And he's got a beard. And I think he's talking about what happened before.
It's just, recently, have you noticed how men get beards? They look a lot better in what they're...
So you think this animated character
he looks better with a beard.
Yeah.
He's like Captain America.
Mate, you just want to grow a beard, don't you?
I wish I could
just
grow
buy
a
a
beard.
stick-on one.
Yeah, I'm going to get some mascara.
Okay. Do you know, the thing I don't like about the beard scene is that means he survives, doesn't it? Because he's talking about... if it's him in the future talking about a previous event in his life, then both Toothless the Dragon and him are still alive.
But could he be talking about it as it's going on?
Or maybe he's just got a beard at the beginning and then shaves it off.
Yeah.
But the actual trailer looks... you've got a new character, a white version of Toothless. Looks funny. Toothless is trying to court this white fury. He's a night fury. And it looks like those sort of birds of paradise display.
I just loved how he went up to her and he's all been trying to seduce her and she taps him on the nose like a cat does, like
he's very cat-like, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I'm glad you want to see it, and it's going to make you watch number 2, which is good.
I'll take my kids. They enjoy that.
Yeah, if you let your kids see number 2, don't tell them the dad dies. I don't want to spoil that for them.
No. I'm not like you.
Okay. You seen any more trailers this week, Mark?
Oh, The Nun.
The Nun.
I think we should talk about The Nun.
Can we not, man?
I think we need to. It's part of the Conjuring universe.
The what universe?
The Conjuring.
Conjuring.
Con.
Right, remind me, Conjuring 1, was that the girl hanging from the tree on the poster?
Yeah, it's the girl from hanging from the tree.
Yeah,
that's Conjuring 2, that one.
Is the Conjuring 2 the one set in London in the 70s? Do you remember?
The Enfield.
Yeah, the Enfield.
Haunting.
Yeah. That's number 2, right?
Yeah, that's number 2, yeah.
Okay, and that was, the nun was teased in that, the picture of the nun coming forward. I don't like talking about nuns.
That's the picture. It's only because you went to
a Roman Catholic school where we were taught and...
tortured.
Beatings.
Yeah, just a regular Karen.
Yeah. If we had to hold our hands together to go to assembly, and if we broke hands, we get a slap round the back of the head with a meter rule stick.
I just don't get the logic.
That's just the beginning of my day when I was younger.
We're teaching you to be better people, but if you break your hands, we're going to hit you.
Well, I think I fell over once. If I don't separate my praying hand stance, I'm going to smash my face in. So I'd rather, get smacked round the back of the head.
Missing teeth and that because you didn't break your hands.
Yeah, so I'm terrified of nuns. A good way to put your kid off religion for life. So the trailer, what do you think?
I think.
Shall I tell him? We watched it again just now.
Yeah.
You jumped out of your chair, mate.
Mate, I didn't fucking expect that to happen. And this is, I'm going to have to say spoiler because...
It's not
a spoiler because it's in the trailer, but I'll tell you what's a spoiler is, before I watch the trailer, everyone says, watch till the end.
Oh, that's what it said at the beginning. I didn't realise that was because of that bit at the end.
And I don't like that. I don't like... Because then you're thinking, oh, what's happening? I thought it was... when she was following her behind her.
Right.
And when she turns. And that's the bit that made me jump like a fucker.
Well, another... Yeah, no, shall we not talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a jump scare at the end anyway. But, this looks scary, right? I'm almost more scared of this than our film review tonight, which was Hereditary. Yeah.
But...
Can I just mention, she was teased in Conjuring 2, yeah? Or Conjuring 3. But Annabelle Creation, the second Annabelle, they talk about her and there's a picture of her. I don't know if anyone's seen that. But
I've not seen Annabelle Creation.
But it's that same thing where there's a photo of this. They go, "Who's that nun?" And she's like, "Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember her being in the photo. That's scary."
Yeah.
And then they put the photo away, but you can still see her eyes glowing. I think that's what I remember from the.
Yeah.
So if it's going to be a whole film of that, I'm just going to shit myself the whole time.
I never used to be a big horror fan. When I was younger, I used to like films like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, you know.
Slashers.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
You know what you expect.
Jason Voorhees.
With films like this, I wasn't a big fan. I didn't like the slow-paced kind of...
The build-up.
Yeah, anxiety feeling films.
Right.
But over the last few years, films like this I've been really looking forward to.
They're the best films of a lot of years.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier with It Follows and The Babadook.
When you leave, like you want to leave a cinema, you want to feel like you've enjoyed the experience.
Did you enjoy Hereditary tonight?
I enjoyed how it made me feel.
Okay, we didn't come out smiling though, did we? I don't think it's meant for that.
You walk out relieved.
Well,
I think they've done
out,
their job right if they make you walk out relieved.
I walked out with, what the fuck was that? Anyway, talking of slasher films, what do you think of that trailer for Halloween?
Yeah, it's all right.
It
didn't make me go, oh my God, Michael Myers is back. Oh, you know, like everyone...
You might have to explain it to me. So we're now cancelling out Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection.
I think everything after the first one is gone. I think they're kind of gone. What I think a lot of people are doing nowadays is going, right, we keep the first one and follow on from that. So we kind of forget all the 2, 3, H2O, you know.
They're all pretty rubbish.
Yeah, so sorry, Buster Rhymes, you've got to go. And it's got a couple of writers in. Danny McBride's one of them.
Oh, okay. Comedy.
Yeah.
Man, all right.
But as we know, comedy writers can bring out some...
dramatic stuff. Yeah. You thinking John Krasinski?
Yeah, quite close.
Yeah.
And Get Out. John Hill. But yeah, I look at it and...
It looks the same as the NAF ones, right?
Yeah.
Nothing new.
I think certain bits annoyed me. It's like when that bloke shows him the mask. It's like, Michael. Why would you show...
Yeah, you got two, are they British? They must be, I don't know, criminologists or something.
Yeah.
They go and visit him in prison and they're showing the mask. But that scene, I thought it was going to be like a comedy skit, and at the end he was going to, I don't know, do a dance. It seemed ridiculous. Yeah.
And all about,
yeah.
And the dog going,
yeah, there's little nods to the original. There's a dog, isn't there? I like that one bit when Jamie Lee Curtis shoots him in the window.
Yeah.
And it's his reflection. That was quite good.
I think they got little nods to the original, like the end scene when the little boy's like, "Can you close my cupboard door more?" And she's pushing the door and it's bounced off, and it opens up and he's holding his knife up high. Yeah. It's kind of like in the original, he comes out of the darkness through a doorway. And I just got that vision in my head. Don't worry, I really like the character Michael Myers.
Yeah. Does this trailer make you want to see it?
That doesn't make me go, I've got to rush to the cinema to see it.
We're gonna see it though.
We're gonna see it. We've got to see Halloween. Is it called Halloween?
Yeah.
Because the first called Halloween.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not. Yeah.
And it's like how many years after the murder? 20 years.
I don't know, but Jamie Lee Curtis is pretty old.
Yeah.
So this is basically an old man with a William Shatner mask.
Yeah.
Going around murdering people. Maybe.
I think the mask looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks worn, tethered, and creepy. That scene when he drops the teeth over the toilet cubicle.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's just like, oh, I feel sorry for you, darling. You got to get out of there because he's going to fucking rip you a new one.
Mate, our British actors and actresses are just put in films to get brutally murdered. There's no way that other British guy's surviving.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
But I'll be looking forward to seeing the next trailer.
Oh, okay.
To see where they go from this.
Well, they might. It looks very sameish as the last lot, but they might do something different.
I think that's what they need to do, though. I think they need to kind of keep it same as the original because they tried going a different direction in the past and it's not worked.
Okay.
And no one's never been happier. John Carpenter's a producer on this, when he hasn't been since the first one, I think. And Jamie Lee Curtis obviously back, so it's got potential.
Okay, I'll give it a go. The
new Damien Chazelle film's out, First Man. Have you catch that one yet?
Yeah, I saw it earlier in the week. This looks a bit Oscar-y to me. Is this out in the Oscar season?
Yeah, I think it would be up there. Definitely up there. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I'm not... It looks amazing. And it's the story of the Apollo mission, the space race. With Neil Armstrong, played by Ryan Gosling.
Not Lance, not the cyclist.
No, and not not Louis. Yeah, it sounds like it's just going to end with the big speech at the end. Landed on the so basically we know what happens, but it's everything behind the scenes, right?
Visually, it looks good. You know, we know from his last few films, especially La La Land.
That's a pretty film.
Yeah, he's good at visualizing and making things look pretty.
Yeah,
definitely.
Are you excited to see? I mean, there's been 100 documentaries on it. I think Apollo 13 is probably a more interesting story for me.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe he's going to have a twist in it, and maybe what he's going to do is when he steps off, he's going to go into a lot, and Kubrick's going to be there going, "Perfect, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers. See you later."
Yeah, we talked about that last week, didn't we?
Yeah. It's got our man Ryan Gosling. You know,
yep.
The hunk of a man he is. I think people.
I don't see it.
Women love him.
He's an ugly man.
Oh, I don't know.
No, okay.
Have you seen The Notebook?
Yeah, but
beautiful man, beard again. You know?
Yeah, but he was cast in The Notebook for being someone who's not handsome. Did you know that?
Yeah.
That's what he was looking for.
Huh.
But you're looking forward to seeing this?
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting watch. As I say, I like his last few films that he's done. Whiplash, is a really good film as well.
That's great.
So he knows how to portray a story. So
this looks like a bit of an acting tour de force. Maybe up for Best Picture, Best Actor.
Yeah, it's not. It's like his normal jazzy kind of things he likes making.
The director.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because obviously Whiplash was drumming and jazz and.
Yeah, none of these historical biopics like this one.
No. So maybe he's trying a new thing and want to go in a different direction.
I'll give the next trailer a go.
Yeah,
and then see how I feel. Okay, I just want to squeeze this last one in. We had a trailer with Keanu Reeves for Siberia. Did you see that one?
Yeah, that's quite good.
I think he's a diamond salesman and he goes, I don't know, to infiltrate or join the Russian mafia, looks like. But good action. What do you think of the trailer?
Yeah, it kind of makes me think this is what he'd done before he became John Wick.
I can't look at him now without thinking of John Wick. I think he's playing a more sort of normal character. So I'm going to watch an action scene with him in where he'll be all right at shooting.
Yeah. But
then I'll remember John Wick and I'll be thinking, why aren't all these people dead? He should have killed 100 people by now.
Doing headshots, he'd be sorted. But when it first started, I thought he was going to play a Russian. But he doesn't play a Russian, does he?
No, he plays an American... Well, unless he's just doing a shit accent.
A wooden Russian.
Well, we got to talk about this. I love Keanu Reeves.
Yes, I do.
I love Keanu Reeves films. Why do I? Because he can't act, right?
Nah. He's same in most things.
Yeah.
But
he doesn't emote. He just has one face. But I love John Wick. I loved him in
Matrix.
Yeah.
It's maybe it's just his mannerism and the way he comes across.
Yeah.
Because he's good at action. We know that. We've seen him in fighting in Matrix and when he's doing his gun fu in John Wick. We've seen that. We know what he can do.
Yeah, but
so he's entertaining.
They separate for me because he's got a beard in John Wick, so I know it's not Neo. I'm not watching John Wick thinking, well, why isn't he just flying off?
He does look like John Wick in this because
he does. That's the thing.
The same hair, the same suits.
He acts the same because he just does one role, which is Keanu Reeves in real life.
It works for him,
Yeah, but he puts out some good films. So I'll definitely watch this.
Yeah.
Okay, mate. So that is the end of our trailers for this week. We hope you check some of them out. Okay, mate, so we're doing our news segment now. Please tell me you've got some news.
Oh, I do indeed got some news.
Bit of a slow week, though, right?
Yeah, not loads coming out. It's some news that we've all heard before is, again, there's speculation that Matt Reeves will be rebooting Batman without Affleck.
Oh, he's definitely gone now, right?
Yeah. You know, I
That's
think
a
it's
shame,
probably
right?
a good thing.
Yeah.
I think it's good because the last two things I've seen him in have not been the best DC
No.
films.
Well,
don't get me wrong, I don't mind them. I didn't mind Justice League when a lot of people hated on it, and I didn't mind Batman v Superman.
well, I thought he was the best thing in Batman v Superman.
Yeah,
Ben
definitely.
Affleck. Yeah, and yeah, you say Justice League. I mean, it was a mess.
Yeah,
But
I think a lot of times though, Batman came across as like, I'll stand back. You know,
oh, okay.
I didn't feel like he was a strong enough character. You know, or who we know Batman to be.
No.
I think because you got these stronger characters, you know, like Wonder Woman and the Flash. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't really like the Flash in that, but all these bigger characters who've got proper superpowers when
Yeah.
he's just rich.
Well,
you
no,
know?
he should be the brains. That's what he should be.
Yeah.
Anything with like the Trinity or Justice League, he should be the brains.
Yeah.
But who's done the best Batman for you?
I prefer Christian Bale's
Dark
Bruce
Knight.
Wayne.
Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne,
yeah.
right?
I like his look, you know. I like Ben Affleck as Batman in Batman vs Superman when you first see him in that warehouse scene.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I like the voice distorter that he uses in Batman and versus Superman and
Yeah.
in Justice League, because when it was Christian Bale, it was like he pushed his lips together going, I'm Batman.
He just did a voice. Yeah.
I'm Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Do you know? Was it the Dark Knight Rises?
That's it, Scarecrow.
Dark Knight Rises. He does his voice for Batman when he's on his own.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. So he's on his own at the end of a scene.
Alfred. I don't know why I keep squeezing my lips together.
It does sound like that. So you like the look of Ben Affleck's Batman, Bruce Wayne?
Yeah,
would
most
be
of the time
Christian
I
Bale.
like him as when Affleck was him, but sometimes he looked too big, like too fat.
Oh, fat. Okay,
Fat man, you know.
that's a bit mean.
Not that he... No. He's not fat, he's ripped, you know. You see that he's worked hard to be
So
Batman.
you like the sort of physique of a 1960s Adam West? Yeah.
With a grey fucking suit, yeah, that would be good. No, I always feel like you get somewhere in between.
Okay.
You know, in between Bale and Affleck, you get a nice mixture.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, the news is he's gone.
No, Matt Reeves is going to reboot it. I don't know where he's going to go with it. I think personally that he should start with something like Year One. You know,
Yeah.
so it's.
We saw a bit of that in Batman Begins, Chris Nolan film.
I don't think we need to see him as a kid.
No.
And when Thomas and Martha Wayne die,
Well,
I feel like we need to just see him come back to Gotham after being gone for so many years
Yeah.
to see how bad it is. And also, then you can get a young Jim Gordon. Yeah,
Okay.
and I think it should be a start of a new era for DC. I feel like what they need to do is fuck off all the other stuff they've done. Apart from Wonder Woman, I really like Wonder Woman
Yeah.
and Henry Cavill as Superman. I like those.
Do you like the Flash? I quite
No,
like
I
the
didn't
Flash.
like the Flash. No, I think it's because what I've seen in animated series and
Oh, the
in
CW
comics-
show.
Yeah, not
Oh,
the
no.
CW, like the Flashpoint Paradox I was just
Yeah.
talking to you earlier about. He's a bit more confident, you know. I know
Okay.
that the Flash in Justice League
He's
is
new.
new.
He's just like Spider-Man, really. The way he
Yeah.
played it was just like Peter Parker.
I just didn't want that nerdy. I wanted someone who's like, yeah, I'll do this, you know. Not like,
Uh,
oh, I just run really fast.
he is a nerd.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something I didn't connect with him, you know. And I feel like if I connect more with an animated series than I do with a film,
Yeah.
something's not right.
If you connect more of a voice actor
Yeah,
than a live action.
yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like he should go there. But say that I think I can trust him to do something good because he's obviously done the Planet of the Apes films.
Yeah. That was a good reboot.
Yeah, so he's done a good
So
job there.
you want him to do a good reboot on the Batman. You want a new Batman, younger Gordon,
Yeah, who would
Okay.
you have as Batman?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I agree with you there. If it was someone older, I would say someone like John Hamm. You know, I
Yeah.
like John Hamm. He's got a good look to him.
He's got a great look. He's the perfect Superman for me. If he was younger,
Yeah.
he just looks like Superman would look, I think. Anyway,
But yeah, so Jake Gyllenhaal, definitely. I agree. He's older now. He's like 36, so I think he'd be better suited in a role like that than in the Marvel film.
Oh, Mysterio.
Yeah, I'd rather him be Batman.
I'd like to see him as a villain. But then Batman isn't a hero. Well, he's not to me. Not the Batman I read in the comics. Anyway, I heard that Jeff Johns is gone, or stepping down from the head of the DCEU.
Yeah, I think he's taken a more of a creative role, getting back to writing. I heard that he's writing Green Lantern Corps.
Okay, I'll tell you what I heard. The names are changing, right? We're going to have a line of films with a Joker from Jared Leto, and then we're going to have a different universe. I think it's called something like DC Black or DC Dark. I think that's where we're going to get the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Okay.
Which is just so fucking confusing.
But do you feel like when they do all these different universes and different Jokers, it's just, as you say, just too confusing? Do you think they should just reboot everything and start again?
Maybe. I mean, but Marvel do it well. Not everything they do is great, but they've got the films which are in the same universe as all their different TV shows, all the different networks. But they kind of all work together.
But Marvel have had patience. They've not done what DC have done and rushed into everything. They've not gone, we need to get this out quick, we need that out quick, we need this.
They don't have two versions of the same character either.
No.
So if we're going to have two Jokers at the same time, it's just weird.
Doing another Batman film with Affleck, is that going to be the same as what we've seen? Are people going to be like, I can't be bothered to see it because I'm not happy with what we've seen? Yeah. Or would you rather go and see something that's fresh, new, and a different direction?
I just want a good director. I was even happy with Ben Affleck directing himself. And just none of this studio interference bollocks. Yeah. Just make a good film. I
would keep Wonder Woman. I saw new images of Wonder Woman this week.
Is that the new film?
Yeah. Okay. Was it 1984?
Has it got a title now?
I don't know if that's the title or just an image they put up.
Okay.
But also there's an image of Chris Pine's character. But he died. Oh, we thought he died in the Wonder Woman film.
I hope he's dead. Not that I don't like him, but comics do it all the time, bringing people back. But then we've already had Justice League where he's dead again.
All right.
We'll get a trailer, won't we? Eventually.
Yeah. But I feel like when I saw those images, I kind of thought, wouldn't that be better saying that you didn't know? And it's just like a surprise, instead of just, oh look, the character is dead is back.
Yeah, was it a set photo or was it something they deliberately put out?
I think it's a set photo.
Yeah, they're going to leak. It's really hard. Unless you've got a proper closed set, stuff's going to leak. Talking of your DC characters, new pictures for, I don't know if you saw them, for Aquaman, which actually looks quite good.
Yeah, it does.
You've got more pictures of Jason Momoa. I think he's saving lives on a submarine. You've got Amber Heard, and there's a new image of Manta as well.
Yeah, it looks good.
Which looks proper retro, like an old sort of diving suit.
Do you think that's because it's like his
first one?
Yeah, first.
Like Iron Man Mark 1?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, the comic book helmet is ridiculously wide. I don't know. You can't fight in that. But I saw a few images from that. It is a slow week. Anything else you've got?
No, just a quick point. Do you like that they change Aquaman's look for the films?
I like it when they go in a new direction. They kind of had to with a character like Aquaman, because in the comics he's bright orange top, bright green leggings. So
blonde hair, blue eyes.
Blonde hair. Yeah, it's another white man, and I think they need more diversity.
It does look good, and I agree with the new look. Yeah, definitely.
I like how they've just big old Jason Momoa's got his forearm tattoo, and they've kept that and just added to it. I like it.
Yeah. Better than him riding in on a dolphin or something like that.
Yeah, a giant. It's normally a giant seahorse from the comics. Yeah,
that's better. A seahorse is better than a dolphin. Looks cooler.
Okay, and we're back. What you been up to this week, Mark?
Oh, this week, mate.
Mate, you do. Oh, I love it.
Oh, this week. Ooh. This
sounds
week,
exciting.
This week, I've been reading the new Superman comics.
Ah, okay.
The Man of Steel. It's
This is a brand new, right?
Yeah, brand new. I've got 2 issues. The third came out yesterday, which I'm going to pick up tomorrow. It's written by Brian Michael Bendis. He was originally part of Marvel.
Oh, so he's crossed the threshold, has he?
Yeah,
he's gone across the
he
aisle.
wrote a few of the Avengers comics as well as Secret Invasion. Good comics. And he's come over to DC and he's taken on the role of writing Superman. And I picked them up last week and I really enjoyed them.
So are we starting again? Is this starting at the Kent farm?
No, it's not. It's kind of like he's with Lois. He's got a son.
Oh, okay.
You know, so he's got it's a bit more like his family life.
Is his son superpowered?
Yeah.
Okay.
You kind of see him in his little suit. You know, have a look at these. You know, you've got some nice artwork on the front.
They look great.
His son's in it. You see his son in a little costume, and it's a bit too small for him. But it's introduced.
How do you mean it's a bit too small for him?
He's saying to his dad. He's telling his dad that, you know, basically his mum won't fix it. But yeah, so you're introduced to Superman's son.
Yep.
You know, Lois. But you're also introduced into a new villain. There's a bloke called Rogulzar, and he wants to destroy the Kryptonians. So he's on a war path to go for Superman, and you know, so it's going to be a new, hopefully great villain that we're being introduced to.
So this is a brand new villain. This is what's his name? The writer.
The writer's name is Brian Michael Bendis.
So Brian Michael Bendis has come over from Marvel and he's written an entirely new villain for Superman.
Yeah, so he's writing a 6-parter. Yeah, and I look forward to finding out where this goes and what they're going to do with it.
It's nice to have a brand new Superman storyline because they've rehashed them so many times.
He looks really good as well. You know, look at that cover.
This cover, Mark's just handed me the issue 1 and 2. And not only does the cover look good, but the pages look awesome as well.
Yeah, the artwork's incredible.
Yeah.
I'll put these on the Instagram so people can have a look. I picked them up from Forbidden Planet in Croydon. But I don't have a big collection of comics.
So you're getting into them now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I feel a bit gutted that I've missed so many, you know. And
well, the big storylines, big storylines you can go back and download now.
Yeah, so I'm also reading Justice League Rebirth.
Okay.
And there's the Extinction Machines, which is also really good.
So that's what you've been doing this week?
Yeah, what about you? What have you been up to, Adam?
Fuck all. No, I want to just use this platform to talk about a couple of animated shows. I watch a lot of TV, and there's these 2 animated shows that I talk about. And not only, I don't know if it's just in the UK, but not only have people not seen them, they haven't even fucking heard of them. And these are huge TV shows. They've had comics, they've had video games. I'm talking, number 1, Steven Universe, which is arguably one of my favourite cartoons of all time, alongside things like Rick and Morty. And after that, I'm going to talk Attack on Titan, which is the anime of the popular manga series. But again, no one's heard of them. And they need to watch
I've not heard of Steve Universe. I've heard of Titans.
Yeah, Steven Universe, Rebecca Sugar, who wrote Adventure Time. I don't know if you've seen much Adventure Time. No. I mean, that's huge. It's on the Cartoon Network, been going for years. The head of Cartoon Network just said, anyone got a pilot? And she goes, yeah. And it's based on her brother, Stephen, who is part of the Crystal Gems. He lives on the east coast of America, on the beach, a place called Beach City. His mum's died. His mum was a crystal gem. A race of aliens made of crystal gems. His dad was a human, so he's half crystal gem, half human. It sounds ridiculous, but it's so good. The characters are brilliant. You've got 3 crystal gems he lives with. You've got Garnet, Amethyst and Pearl. It's a great theme tune. The artwork is amazing. It's won awards. It's sort of a pastel colour patterned background. Kevin Dart, I mean, just Google him. Google image Kevin Dart and you'll see the sort of amazing stuff he does. So Stephen has a belly button gem. from his mum's side.
Do you see the belly button gem?
You do, yeah.
Is it like a little piercing?
It is, yeah. That's what, it looks ridiculous. This little fat kid, curly hair, and a t-shirt. It does sound ridiculous, but the stories are so good. It doesn't really explain anything to begin with, episode 1, but you just got to stick with it, and stuff just comes naturally.
I've not been able to get around to watching it yet, so it looks like something that'd be quite fun to watch. So yeah, give that a try.
Yeah, it deals with. It's quite emotional. It deals with. It sounds sad for a cartoon, but it does depression, bereavement. There's a lot of LBGT sort of themes, some same-sex relationships, which you don't normally see, which is refreshing for an animated series. You've got a great voice cast. You'll recognise some of the voices. Surprising one will be Estelle, who plays Garnet, the singer. Most famous to me for that the Kanye West cover, American Boy. She's brilliant. So
has he got any special powers? Or
yeah, they are superheroes. The crystal gems were sent to protect the Earth. The story is deep, man, and you think they've told the story in the first series, and then they go back to it, and it just gets deeper and deeper, and all these characters have a lot more history than you think. I'm halfway through the 5th season, and we're still finding out new things about the past.
5th season, and no one's heard about it.
Well, it's amazing. No one I talked to has even heard of it. Yeah, the first series had 52 episodes. I mean, they're only like 11 minutes long on average, but that's a good length. I watch it with my baby daughter. She likes the colours, and I like the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got powers. I'm not giving too much away. He can create a shield, like his mum could, and like a protective bubble around himself.
I think, if I can recall, I think I saw you and Ollie sharing a clip of him making a bubble and some weird thing he's talking to. He's trying to draw a picture of what he wants him to do. Yeah,
the secondary characters are great. There's a little kid called, I think he's a kid. He's called Onion. He's a kid. He doesn't talk, and he's just hilarious. I can't really explain it without you watching it.
Does he look like an onion?
A little bit. I think that's why they call him Onion. A couple of seasons in, you meet his little gang he hangs around with in the summer, and none of them speak, and it's just so random. But yeah, it deals with really quite dark themes sometimes for a kids' show.
Is his mother still in it?
No, his mother died.
Okay.
She sacrificed herself for him.
Okay.
But there's a lot of flashbacks and what happens to her and why she did what she did.
Okay.
There's a lot of off-world stuff now as well. So they're in space. They went to the Gem home planet.
So how does he get to different
locations?
Yeah.
There's portals, but also there's a lion. Mate, the more I talk about this, the weirder it sounds. Okay. He's got his pet lion with pink hair, and he travels through the lion's hair to different locations.
So, so if you like strange,
I'm not making this up.
No, it sounds
fucking ridiculous, right? Yeah,
but it makes you want to watch it. It makes you want to find about this pink lion. They
also can shapeshift a few of these crystal gems, and they can also merge together. So a lot of the big episodes are about these fusions. So he can fuse with his friend Connie, not in a sexual way. He's got his best friend Connie, this Asian kid, and he can fuse with her to become Stefani. So they have, Stephen and Connie, Stefani.
It's like me and my wife, Marlou.
You fuse. I don't want to talk about that, mate.
No, we don't. But I'm saying if I did, it'd be Marlou. But like, there's this. I can't remember the character's name. This bloke, and he made a doll, half his hair and half the girl's hair, half her teeth, half his teeth.
What?
Fucking weird.
Okay, it's not as weird as that.
No, all right. I bet it is.
Okay. Anyway, I recommend people watch it because it's brilliant. It's number 1 on my top 10 of cartoons at the moment.
That'd be good. They're good. So, what's the other one you was talking about?
Attack on Titan. You've heard of Attack on Titan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you know about it?
I don't know much. I know I've been recommended it to watch. I've got the first season ready to watch. I just haven't.
Yeah, I think a lot of the anime series over here get passed by. This is great. This is based on a manga. Set in a future, but sort of a retro future. I mean, not steampunk, but similar. Basically, massive, giant, humanoid titans, they're called. Generally about a couple of stories high. They rule the planet, and the surviving humans live behind like 100-foot walls. And this is for decades. It actually starts 100 years later, and no one's seen a Titan for 100 years. Again, it doesn't have to explain everything, the first episode, and then as we go through the series, it shines a light on what's happened, who the Titans are, why they do what they do. Basically, these massive humanoid people with no genitalia. Sounds weird to say. They just go around eating people. They don't need the people for sustenance. They just do it for a laugh.
Okay,
that's a big part of the storyline. Anyway, we start off 100 years on. No one's seen a Titan, and the biggest fucking Titan you've ever seen. You're talking 100-foot high, or over that. Peers over the wall and everyone shits themselves. And then you've got different types of Titans. So you've got the Colossal Titan, which is gigantic. And then you've got the Armoured Titan, who smashes through the wall, kills a load of people. Our main character, Eren Yeager, basically off the bat loses his mum to one of these things, and he goes off with his adopted sister, and he vows to kill every Titan. And then there's
how big is he? Normal size?
Oh no, these are humans, yeah.
So he's like 5'5".
Yeah, it's him, his adopted sister, and his best mate. They join up and fight the Titans.
How do you fight 100-foot Titan?
I'm glad you asked, Mark.
5'5"?
They use gas-filled grappling hooks and swords.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a kind of going paper cuts.
Yeah.
Take that.
Well, they've also, they grapple onto their legs, spin around. The only way you can kill a Titan is by chopping a big chunk out the back of his neck, nape of his neck.
Okay, so they need to bring him down then to do that.
Yeah, they need to. No, they do it on the fly, in the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like Gulliver's Travel. They don't tie him down.
No.
Climb on top of him after roping him to the ground.
No, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it. I just want people to give it a go. Give the first episode a go, and you'll be hooked. It goes into their training, how to kill them, who they are, and there's a huge reveal about the main character, Eren Yeager.
Is there a lot of seasons? How many seasons are there?
Right, we had season 1 and season 2. There was a huge, I think it was 4-year gap we were waiting. And there's proper payoffs and proper cliffhangers, so you really want to know, and it's painful waiting for the next series. Third series, I think, is out later this year.
Did they not do like a live?
Oh, mate, yeah, they did. They made a couple of live action films. Don't watch them.
No.
Just watch the anime or read the manga.
Okay, cool.
But as you watch it, don't Google it too much, because it's going to say who people are. It's going to say why they did what. It's going to be spoiler heavy, the internet.
Yeah.
So watch it, don't Google it.
Cool, sounds good. Looking forward to it, mate.
Okay, so that's about it for this week. Next week's movie review is going to be Ocean's 8. You looking forward to that, Mark?
I'm a bit dubious, but I'm sure I'll be surprised and entertained.
Okay, well, we'll find out. Do you want to sign us out, Mark? Do you want to close the show?
Yeah, if you've got any questions or would just like to say hello, hashtag TuesdayBrewcast. You can follow us on Instagram at TuesdayBrew. Also, check out our website where you can stream and download each episode each week at TuesdayBrew.com.
Great, well, I'm going to try and get some sleep after that terrifying film. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
See you later.